Do you feel like your career is just something that you do every day? You get up every morning, you go to work, you come home, and it's like Groundhog Day. And you're not really sure what it is that you're doing it for other than collecting your salary. Well, stick with me because this week I want to start talking about more intentional career planning. Hi, this is Herbert, leadership and sustainable performance coach. And today I want to continue our conversation in these 9 crucial shifts that every leader needs to make in today's world by helping you to set your own course in your career. We started off a few months ago talking about your identity, and then we moved into your intelligence and looked at emotional intelligence and its importance in being a leader. You know, those skills that go beyond your cognitive ability and are more about the inner workings of you, the person, and how you respond or indeed react emotionally. We talked about the fact that you're an emotional being. You're not a robot. You're not artificial intelligence. You're human. And looking at how being human needs to be worked on so that you're giving yourself the best opportunity to get the results you want. However, before we get into more technical skills or professional leadership, I want to devote this month to giving you a different perspective around setting some intention, of making sure that all these things that you are becoming and therefore the things that you are doing are actually leading you where you want to go. I know in my own career, in military and in corporate, and now for the last 15 years in my own practice, there have been times when I felt like I was just doing it. I didn't really remember what I was doing it for. And when you operate that way, your mojo can sometimes be lost. In times that are a little bit tougher, where things aren't going the right way, if you're not getting all the rest that you want, if you're feeling a little bit close to that thing called burnout, if you don't have an intention for why you're doing it all, it's really easy to just pull back and not give it your best. So this shift that we want to talk about this month is going from scattered, where you're just doing stuff. There's no real purpose behind it, and you don't have enough time to get it done anyway, to being planned. And I'm not talking about planned in terms of your calendar or having a plan for your business. I'm talking about the plan that you've got for your life. And then the plan that your career has to be a part of that life. You know, if you've been around me a while, I don't believe in work-life balance. Why? Because work and life are not separate. Work is just a part of your life. And when we try and separate work from life, we tend to miss the mark. So work or your career needs to fit in with your overall purpose for your life. So to get this started, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to think about why you got into the career that you're in the first place. Yes, I know, we all need to earn an income. We all might do it because it's prestigious and gives us the significance we want. Those things are great, but what I'm talking about here is, what was the impact that you want to make? You know, the work that I do in this leadership area is around helping you to be a greater influence, to have a greater income, and to make a bigger impact. So let's focus this month on getting you back in line with the impact that you want to make. What's the real reason? You see, we can be tossed around by the stormy seas or the still waters of whatever the circumstances are that we're going through right now. Or we can set the sails ourselves and chart our own course for where it is that we want to go. making sure that we tack and we maneuver and we shift where we're going if we're going off track to what it is that we're wanting to achieve. And in fact, as I said, the most important thing here is of who you're becoming. One of the things I love to do with my clients when we're going through this process is ask them this question. And I'm going to ask you right now, and I'd love you to give it some thought, because this is the foundation that you'll be able to work from to set a clearer intention, and one that's going to get you where it is that you actually want to go. Imagine that you had 15 minutes where I made sure that you were in front of the audience all around the world that had some sort of device that was connected to the internet. That's billions of people that you would get 15 minutes to talk to. What I want to ask you is, what would you like them to learn? What is it that you'd like to talk to them about? What would you like to leave them with that they're going to remember? And I guarantee that if you give it some thought, it wouldn't be anything to do with what you do in your career. It'd be higher purpose than that. It'd be, who are you and what do you stand for? What are your values? What do you believe in? And those are the things that you would want to work on, or that you would want to speak to them about. I like to call it your calling. You know, what's your reason for being? Why do you get up every single day? And if that's out in front of you, what is it that motivates you to go beyond just doing your job? What is it that excites you? What is it that you feel a part of? Now, I understand, because of life happening, that you may have forgotten all those things. There might have been things in your past when you first got into your career that you did it for. And because of the day-to-day grind and the ups and downs and the changes and, you know, all the things that we've been through in our career, you may have forgotten that. And you might have cast it aside and thought, hey, I'm never going to get that. I'm never going to be that. I'm never going to do that. So I'm just going to continue doing the do and hope that I get what I want out of it. So it's going to take some thought, and it's going to take some courage. Because here's the thing, the reason why we push that down and we don't talk about it anymore, and we don't even give it any thought anymore, is that when we believe that we are not capable of getting there or doing that or being that, we don't want to think about it, because then it frustrates you. And then it gives you another reason to fail. So if you push it away and you don't go after it anymore, then you don't need to prove to yourself or anyone else that you're able to do it. That internal dialogue that we've talked about over the months previous, that mini me, keeps reminding you of the things that you're not, rather than you taking back control of what it is that you believe about yourself and thinking about what you can and what you're going to. So what is your ultimate purpose in life? When you understand that, you will be able to fit everything, including your career, into that so that it does what you want it to do rather than it controlling your life. We also need to make sure that as we do this process, we understand our true priorities. And that starts with you looking at your values. So we've talked about what's your overall picture. That's your vision or your life mission. But now, what do you value? What are the most important things to you? For me, for example, it's family. So I want to make sure that everything that I do for whatever part of my life is focused around family. I know in my corporate career, that wasn't the case. And that's where I started to not like being in those roles anymore. I started to get down on myself and feel like a fraud because family was my number one value, but I was never home with them. And that's where that whole feeling bad about yourself can come in. And when you're not feeling good about yourself, you're not able to do your best. So what are your values is the second thing that we need to look at. Clearly looking at them. You know, someone said once to me that You can tell someone's values when you look at their calendar and their checkbook or their cash flow, right? So what are you investing your time and your money in? That shows an indication of your value. Now, I don't totally agree with that. What that shows is what you appear to value, yet it may not be your true value. And that then frustrates you even more because you're out of line with getting everything done that you need to do and chasing the dollar. You're getting out of line with who you really are. And that's what brings further push down and suppression of your true identity. So over this month, I'm going to pull these things apart. I'm going to help you to get back your vision. I'm going to help you to realign your vision and what it is you're doing with your true values so that you can set priorities. And then when you're saying yes and no to things, you're doing it in line with that. When you and I work in line with who we truly are and who we're meant to be and what it is that is our higher purpose, it's in flow. And things are more easy and effortless. It's definitely not going to be perfect ever. However, when it goes off track, that purpose brings you back on track. When things are not going as you want them to do, it motivates you and inspires you to keep going. So intention and being more intentional and acting on purpose is really important for you as a leader and in your career. Well, that's it from me for another week. Join me again next week as we continue this conversation and we start looking at your vision. I'll see you then.